In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to install Flutter on Windows. So here, go to Google search bar and here you need to type Flutter download. And after that, click on this first link and then here you need to choose the development platform. As we are going to develop the Flutter on Windows, so choose here Windows and then you can choose Android here. After that, to install and run Flutter, your Windows environment must meet the following hardware and software requirement. So here you can see this is the hardware requirement. Here it is saying the minimum CPU core is 4, which means if you have a CPU with 4 core, then you can run the Flutter. Or you can see here the recommended core is 8. So if you have 8, then it is very good. After that, you must have 8 GB of RAM or 16 GB of RAM. Now after that, I want to show whether you meet the hardware requirement or not. To verify it, from your keyboard, specify Windows plus R, and within this run dialog box, specify MS Info 32, then click on OK. And after that, you can see here, I have a system type x64 based PC. Now, then you can see here it is a processor, and you can see I have 6 core. And then when you scroll down, you can see here I have installed RAM 16 GB. So according to the hardware requirement, you can see my Windows meet the Flutter hardware requirement. Next, we have the software requirement. So here you can see it says Flutter supports 64-bit version of Microsoft Windows 10 or later. So to verify it, open this system information and just scroll up. You can see here we have x64-bit, and then you can see here it is a Microsoft Windows 11 Pro, which is the latest version. And now let's look at the second requirement. You can see here we must have a Windows PowerShell 5. So here in a search bar, specify here power, then click on this Windows PowerShell. And here you need to specify command $ps version table and hit enter. And look, here you can see PowerShell version, which is a 5. So here software requirement for operating system is okay. Now let's move next. And you can see we need a development tools. For development tools, we need to download Git and Android Studio. But here I'm not going to use this Git. I'm going to install this Android Studio. So open this link, and after opening this link, just scroll up, click on this download the latest version of Android Studio, and then click on this download Android Studio Ladybug, and then scroll down and click on this I have read and agree with DevOps terms condition. Click on the download Android Studio Ladybug, and you will see here in the download section it is a downloading. It is going to take some time, so wait for it. As you can see, Android Studio is downloaded. So to install this Android Studio, double click on this file, and now click on next button, then next, then choose the directory where you want to install the Android Studio. So here I'm going with the default one. Click on next, then click on install, and finally click on the next, and then uncheck this and click on the finish. Now we have installed the Android Studio successfully. Let's go to the Flutter website, and here you can see after that we need to configure text editor or IDE. So here there are some popular IDE: Visual Studio, Android Studio, and IntelliJ IDE. So here I am going to install the Visual Studio Code. Open this link and then click on this link to install the Visual Studio Code. So you can see it is downloading, and after downloading, double click on this file, click on I accept the agreement, click on the next button, then here click on next, install it. Now uncheck this and click on finish button. So here you can see we have also installed the Visual Studio Code, and next we need to install the Flutter SDK. So here if you see a screen like this, just click on this download and install, and here download this Flutter Windows 3.24.5 stable zip file. Click on this and look, file is downloading. After downloading this Flutter SDK file, go to the folder wherever it is downloaded. Now extract this by clicking right on this and click on this extract all option. Then click on this extract button. Now you can see it is extracting the zip file. Open the extracted folder, copy or cut this folder from here, and then go to your C drive and here paste that folder. And remember, you don't need to paste this folder within this program file or any of the folder within this C drive. You just need to directly paste the folder here within this C drive. Now let's go to the website and see what is the next step. Our next step is to update your Windows path variable. So here, open this Flutter folder and then go to this bin folder, and from here right click on it and copy address as a text, and go to the search bar and search here environment variables, and you can see here edit the system environment variables. Open this and go to this environment variable option, and within here path, you need to specify the path of the Flutter where it exists. So click on this edit, and within here click on this new and then paste that address, and after that click on this OK button and then click on OK and also click on OK. And to verify the Flutter, open the command prompt. Within a command prompt, specify Flutter doctor. Wait for a moment. If you see output like this, which means we have successfully installed the Flutter on Windows, just scroll down and you can see here it is a summary of a Flutter. You can see we have installed the Flutter, and you can see it is saying Windows version, and look, this is the green mark and the X mark. Green mark means we are meeting the Flutter requirement, and X marks means we are not meeting the Flutter requirement. As you can see, we need Android toolchain. So here we need to install the Android SDK that we are going to install soon. And after that, we need to configure the Visual Studio. And as you can see, all these are good because you can see there are a green check mark. And you can see we need to only resolve two things, Visual Studio and Android SDK. So let's fix this. Here I'm going to open the Android Studio. So go to search bar, specify here Android Studio, open this Android Studio. And then click on next, then click on next, then click on next. And here click on accept. Choose this one also, accept. After this, click on this finish button to install all of these components. What it does, it is downloading the required component, and after downloading, it installs those components. After downloading the component, click on finish button. Then here you will see Android welcome to screen. Click on this more action and then choose here SDK manager. And after that, here go to the SDK tools tab, and then here click on this Android SDK command line tools. Click on this apply button here and click on this OK to confirm changes, and it is going to download that Android SDK command line tools. Now it successfully installed the SDK component. Click on this finish button and then click on OK. Close this welcome screen and then come back to command prompt, and here from command prompt again run Flutter doctor and hit enter. And look, here we have successfully installed the Android SDK, and look, you can see here it is saying some Android license not accepted. To resolve this, run the Flutter doctor Android license. Just copy this command and again paste here and hit enter. And here it is saying review license that have not been accepted. Specify why and then hit enter. Then again specify why and then again accept yes, 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 and again run Flutter doctor. Now here you can see we have successfully installed the Android SDK and accepted the license for that. And you can see here we have a final problem, Visual Studio Code, and we need to install this desktop development with C++. So what we will do here, we are going to copy this link from here and go to the browser, and in the new tab paste this link and hit enter. Download this Visual Studio Community Edition. Install this Visual Studio. Click on continue. After installing, you will see this is the Visual Studio Community user interface. And let's go back to the command prompt, and you can see here we have to install desktop development with C++. So let's search that here, scroll down, and look, here we have the required component, desktop development with the C++. Click on this and then click on this install button to install this package. As you can see, we have successfully installed the Visual Studio, and here you can say it is saying we need to reboot the system. So click on the OK, close this Visual Studio code and come back to command prompt, and again here specify Flutter Doctor and hit enter. As you can see here, we have successfully installed Android SDK, Visual Studio, and everything is okay, and you can see here it is showing no issue found. Now after installing Flutter successfully, let's create a fast Flutter app. So here I'm going to close this prompt, and then here create a new folder, and I'm going to name this folder as a Flutter app. And then I'm going to open this folder within a command prompt. To open this folder in command prompt, click here and specify cmd, hit enter. Now from here, to create a Flutter app, specify Flutter. This is the keyword that you will always use to create a new Flutter app. And after that, specify create. And after this, you need to specify the name of the Flutter app. So in this case, I'm going to give name as a fast app. You could specify any name, whatever the name you want. Remember, to create a Flutter app, you need to specify Flutter create keyword. And after writing this command, hit enter, and look, it is showing creating project first app. And now successfully created the first Flutter app. So here it is saying to run the application, you need to go to the folder first app. So here specify cd first app, and now we are in the first app. But from here, I'm not going to run the Flutter app. I'm going to show how you can open this app within the Visual Studio code that you have installed previously. So to open this first app in a Visual Studio code, specify here code and dot, hit enter. And as you can see, it opens our Flutter app or Flutter project within a Visual Studio code where we can work. And before moving, here you can see this is the extension icon. Click on it and search for the extension Flutter, and then hit enter. Click on this first Flutter extension and then click on this install button. Now this extension is successfully installed. Now we can run the Flutter app from here. To run any Flutter app, open the terminal, and within terminal you need to specify Flutter run and hit enter. And look, it is showing it can run Flutter on Windows, Chrome, Edge. And if you connect the Android device, then it also shows that device here, but I have not connected the Android device or any emulator. So by default, I'm going to run this Flutter app within the Chrome. So here I'm going to specify option 2 and hit enter. As you can see, this is the Flutter default app, and this app is created whenever you create a new Flutter project. So here if you click on this plus button, then it is going to increment this counter or this number. Let me show you the code of this app. So you go here in the library and you see here main.dart file. And this is the Flutter code that you can see here. And if you are not familiar, in the future when I will publish a new Flutter video, you will learn about all of these things. So these are the sample code that is included by the Flutter whenever you create a new Flutter app. So this is how you can install the Flutter on Windows and create a new app and run that app. So remember here I'm running this Flutter app within this Chrome. If you have emulator, then you can run this Flutter app in that emulator, and if you have connected your Android device, then you can run Flutter app on your devices. And I will show you in a future how you can do all of these things. So at last, I want to say, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, and thank you.